Hello, everybody.
Hello, hello, hello.
All right. That was kind of my version of a mic check, Rick, because I got it ever since that one time where I went like half the show and didn't know until about halfway through the show that I was sounding like a robot.
Yeah,
All right, so how are you? So how are you doing tonight, Rick?
I am good, good, good. Been a busy day, as I was saying off screen, but I'm not going to announce that to the world till my show on Tuesday night. So,
Mhm.
some sort of big news for me,
Yep. All right. So
but good big news. But tonight I'm going to be reading some comics.
yep,
All I
we're
can
going to
say
be
is,
reading some comics and
"Cause I'm Batman." No,
yeah, just give me a second. I'm just
yeah.
trying to do something here. Let's see. All right, there we go. All right. And we're still kind of frozen there. You can probably already guess what I'm doing.
Yeah,
Since
checking things out.
normally I would just go off camera to do this, but I just figured it'd just be a little faster to do it like this here.
Yeah. And hello, Metal. How are you doing tonight? Caught your video. Um, Liked it.
Oh, in
Shared
fact,
it.
I just realized I forgot to do something. I was so hey metal. I realized I forgot to do something even before the show here. I was so caught up in. Okay, so there we go. As you can see in the banner down below there. If you guys haven't already, if you guys can like and share the stream, see if we can get some friendly people on. Also, if anything we talk about tonight grabs your attention, feel free to comment and or ask questions, and we'll try to answer the questions to the best of our ability.
he's
I'm
drawing
going.
some. He's drawing some ducks. What type of ducks? Duck work, as in like above your ceiling, or actual things that go quack in the night.
All right. Well, anyway, so tonight, folks, we're going to be starting our coverage of October 1939. We're going to be starting. We're going to be going over some comics that went on sale from DC um, back in October 1939. So that's going to include, of course, Detective Comics Volume One, number 33, the Batman story that also has um, his origin in the first part of it. We'll also be reading some Zatara from Action Comics Volume One, number 19, and the Sandman meets the Face from Adventure Comics Volume One, number 44, and maybe a few more, maybe a couple more, depending upon how much time. Floridian Ducks. Okay. So, without any further ado, why don't we go ahead and get things started by, of course, getting to our material here.
To comics.
The thing that everybody's been waiting the whole week for, right, Rick?
Yeah. Now, now it's crazy where you only got in 3 more months, you'll be in a whole new year. Well, not 3 more months of actual reading. It'll probably be with the way
Well,
you're going
okay.
through these. It'll probably be next year by the time you get to
Well, okay. So right, yeah.
1940.
So right now, of course, we're going to be covering October 1939. It's going to take us 10 weeks to do this. Okay. Now,
Yeah.
depending on now again, with the superhero stuff, we cover that pretty regularly. So stuff like DC, like Marvel, maybe even right now with Archie and some of that, we'll be covering that every month. So that we'll be covering some of that stuff. The hero,
Yeah.
superhero, some of the more slice of life stuff, or some of the more reprints.
Yeah.
Like stuff that comes out from like Dell or United Feature Syndicate. And we were
Yeah.
kind of talking about this last week when I had Metal on too. Um,
Yeah. I was just
those are
saying that.
more like we do them in, as I call it, the milestone, like up through issue 30. It's like every fifth issue, because the
Yeah.
idea is to give more of a sample of just about everything.
Yeah.
But
I was
obviously, with the focus being on watching how these universes kind of built themselves, the world building.
Yeah.
So
I was just more meaning like within, with each month taking about 10 weeks, as you said, to do, that adds up. So it might not be till next year that we're actually in, 1940,
well, well, okay,
which
but
is not a problem, which is,
not every month that we cover, we're going to be doing 10 weeks, okay? Because
yeah,
in this case, yeah, we're gonna be
yeah,
reading,
yeah,
in this,
yeah,
we're gonna be like reading some stuff from Standard, for example, issue
yeah,
two of Best Comics. We're gonna be,
yeah,
some of those are the milestone issues that
yeah.
every fifth
Yeah,
or
but because you're adding more companies, and I'm not saying there's
right,
anything wrong with it, I'm just it's stating what I believe is most
yeah.
likely a fact, But you went from 8 weeks to 10 weeks, so with all these
And then we're
companies
gonna we're
probably,
gonna probably get
uh,
back down to 6 to 8 weeks again here because
yeah,
some of the books we're covering right now or next month we may not be covering per se, for another another few
well,
months. So
oh, so you're not going to do every company each time around?
right,
Well,
because I mean,
I'm not expecting you might not do the same books, but maybe they have another book out that you could do from, but I don't know.
well, as
I
I
guess,
explained before, the stuff. Okay, so the stuff that's more slice of life stuff, the stuff or the stuff that's just simply reprinted from the newspapers, the
yeah,
stuff that like a lot of like what like Dell Comics was publishing, United Features, Eastern
yeah.
Colors. We do those what I call the milestone method.
Oh,
So it's like what I do with those particular type of with those type of comics, because you see the thing is with the reprinted stuff, with the stuff that's reprinted with newsprints and the more slice of life stuff,
yeah,
that's more like cartoons, and I mean, like that's more. It's kind of like in the same vein as like a Looney Tunes or a MGM type cartoon, where
yeah,
if you've seen one, you've basically seen them all because there's not much difference between the two. The same,
yeah,
with the same central plot. There's no real
yeah,
driving storyline in most of those things. So, to still give the samples though,
yeah.
up through let's say issue 30 of a book, we may do every fifth issue. The first issue and every fifth issue. From let's say
Uh,
30 to 100, it may be every 10th and or 25th issue. Then
okay.
maybe from 100 to like 300, maybe every 25th. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
Basically, it's still the idea of giving more of a sample. We're not trying to read everything because that would just take too long.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I'm not thinking you were trying to read everything and just,
Right.
like
So,
we're obviously I don't think reading everything from
like right now,
from these we're
like
not
right
reading
now,
we're not reading every story in Detective Comics, and we're not reading every book from October of 1939 from DC either.
right.
I don't think,
Well, we're gonna,
anyways.
well, we're gonna read like four of I think the five or six. But the
Yeah,
thing is that like essentially in this case we're taking like one story from each. In the case of All American, if we do get to that, if we get to that'll be two stories. You
yeah,
know, because basically what I figured out a while back is for the most part, on average, I think I can get through like 30 pages over the 2 hour period. But anyways,
yeah,
let's get going here, so we're not wasting too much time here with all the explaining here. So
yeah,
number 33, cover date November, but as we know, cover date is usually a month or 2 months after the on sale date. So in this issue, another thrilling adventure of the Batman. You see the Batman on the cover there?
Batman!
All right, so Batman by Bob Kane. Now, of course, Del Finger did eventually get the writer's credit as well.
Yeah.
So, eerie figure of the night, nemesis of crime. This is the Batman. The Batman wars against the dirigible of doom. So, legend, the Batman and how he came to be. Some 15 years ago, Thomas. So here they actually give a specific time frame. So if this is, let's say this is October of 1939, 15 years ago would have been
Yeah.
1924. So Thomas Wayne and his wife and son were walking home from a movie. What is this? He's
It's
thinking. Oh, go ahead, Rick. You take
it's
it.
a sticker, buddy. I'll take that necklace, lace. Necklace your lady's wearing.
Leave her alone, you. Oh,
You asked for it.
Thomas, you've killed him. Help, police, help.
This'll oh sorry. This'll shut you up.
The boy's eyes are wide with terror and shock as a horrible scene is spread before him. Father, mother, dead. They're dead. Days later, a curious and strange scene takes place. And I swear by the spirits of my parents to avenge their death by spending the rest of my life warring on all criminals.
Now, I got something sort of interesting with the last picture, anyways. They say Batman doesn't believe in God. Well, maybe he doesn't in the future, but right there, he's got to be praying to somebody. I think he's kneeling at his side of his bed and all that in a prayer formation. I think he's praying to God, letting God know that he's going to do this.
Well, you would, yeah, okay. Interesting point you make right there, Rick. I mean, let's take it. Let's take it one step further here. He's basically he's swearing, he's making a pledge, and if he's doing it in a form of a prayer, you almost have to argue that maybe he's swearing to God, or maybe making a pledge to God.
Yeah, a vow.
So, huh?
A vow, a pledge. Yeah, however you want to,
Yeah.
you know.
So that's interesting in its own right. So, um, give me a sec here. Take yours. All right. So with that, let's continue on. With our story here. As soon as I can find the cursor and hit all the right things here. All right. So, as the years pass, Bruce Wayne prepares himself for his career. he becomes a master scientist, trains his body to physical perfection until he is able to perform amazing and athletic feats. Dad's estate left me wealthy. I am ready, but first I must have a disguise. Criminals are a superstition. Now here's another classic, and we've heard this throughout many. We've heard this throughout many of Batman Keenan, across cartoons, comics, and all that. Criminals are a superstitious, cowardly lot. So my disguise must be able to strike terror into their hearts. Um, I must be a creature of the night. Um,
Black.
a
Is that?
black, terrible, a as if an answer. A huge bat flies in the open window. A bat. That's it. It's an omen. I shall become a bat. And thus is born this weird figure of the dark, this avenger of evil, the Batman.
Now, another thing that, obviously back then, for those people that don't know, there is no Alfred in these stories, no Alfred to help him do this and all that.
Right. The early Alfred was added later. I don't. I guess I can probably take a quick peek as to when exactly he debuted. Just for now. Eventually, of course. Um, Actually, in fact, I have an even better source I could take that from than just simply wiki. Um, Take it from the DC. Let's see, 1980s.
You could have just probably typed in first appearance of Alfred in Batman.
Yeah, well, apparently I kind of Alfred Pennyworth Earth 2, or maybe distant Earth 2 Golden. That's part of the reason. On Earth 2, out even though we've come to know his last name is Pennyworth from Silver Age on, originally Alfred's last name was actually Beagle.
Oh, okay. That's
So Alf,
interesting.
and he was a far different. So Alfred actually made his debut, his first comic appearance in Volume 1, number 16, in May of 1943. So we're
Yeah.
still 4 years away, pretty much, or 3.5 years, I guess, away from when he actually makes his. Now, of course, the Alfred on Earth 2 was Alfred Beagle. His last name was Beagle, and he looked a lot different than we see him look nowadays.
Yeah. He was a little bit more plump and all that.
Yeah, and I get put up.
That's just my Twitter. If anybody wants to follow me over on Twitter.
Yeah. So, anyways.
So why are you drawing the duck's medal? I never asked.
only give me credit for one viewer, and I know there's got to be more than one viewer on here.
Yeah, because I'm watching.
Yeah. Are you on? Do you have a window open to the YouTube screen?
Yeah,
And I have one on my end too. So I mean, and additional here. But
hopefully
anyways,
Meadows still got his open.
uh huh. All right. So, anyways, let's get to this. Nightfall. Bruce Wayne walks the crowded streets of downtown Manhattan. Now, again, it hadn't been established yet that Gotham was his home because this was still a lot of the
Yeah,
earlier DC stories were based in our world, basically.
yeah.
A little boy cries aloud and points to the sky. Um,
Look, Mom, a dirigible,
it's pronounced dirigible.
a dirigible.
Strange looking ship. Hmm, more like a rocket ship. Suddenly, red beams of light shoot from the ship. Like talk about an early sci-fi effect here, huh?
Yeah, Timothy's here. He says, adorkable.
Red lights. What red lights. What is it? Help, I'm going blind. As the rays strike the building explodes, hurtling their wreckage upon the crowded streets below. Wow.
Help! The end of the world! Help! Help! Help!
Of course, this got cropped badly,
Yeah. We missed the. I'm not sure whether there was anything in it, but the one frame on the right side.
but
Okay, help! Help! Ma- Mama! Mama! Help! Save me! Help! I think that's it for those panels.
they were let's see, a dorkable. Okay, um, so this was way before the sci-fi and horror craze of the 1950s. Yeah, this was
Yeah.
1939, Timothy. I mean, granted, they still had scientific stories back then, but there just weren't as many. That poor guy died for uh suddenly from the craft, we come to rule the world. Do not resist us, or the rays strike again. We, the Scarlet Horde, warn you.
Resistance is futile.
Yeah. The dirigible gone. Rescue work begins. Bruce Wayne helps. Easy, old man. The home of Bruce Wayne and the rescue and the rest and the rescue work is still going on. Thousands are dead, etc., etc. Bruce presses a panel, and part of the wall slides away. I must stop this Scarlet Horde before they become dictators of the world. Revealing a secret laboratory, those red beams from the dirigible. My file might help me. Bruce comes across a newspaper clipping. Um, you want to read that, Rick? You want to read the
Professor Carl Kruger, released from the insane asylum, suffered from a Napoleon complex. Now working on new type Death Ray.
Wow, a villain with a Napoleon complex. That's a classic, isn't it?
Yes. We do not have the Bat Cave yet. We just have the Bat Closet
Pretty much, yeah,
or the Bat Room.
yeah. Um, hmm. Doctor, and you notice he's smoking a pipe right there.
Yeah.
That was actually considered fairly stylish back in the golden age.
Yeah.
Dr. Kruger may be responsible. This looks like a case for the Batman. The Batman prepares to visit Dr. Kruger. And now my silk rope and I'm ready.
Timothy. So he's constantly came out of the Bat Closet, said Timothy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or bat room, and we can make the obvious jokes there, and bat closet, water closet, bathroom.
Explains why he slid down the bat poles.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that again came later. The Batman's high-powered car speeds toward the home of Dr. Carl Kruger. So look, that was what the Batmobile looked like back then. It looked more like a regular car, like a
Yeah.
Sportster. Back then. The car,
No added feature, or very few added features.
right. The car will be safe here, where no one can see it. A weird figure races through the night.
It's Batman. Why don't you just say Batman races through the night?
Because the way they said it sounds more dramatic. A weird figure races through the night.
Yeah, but that you say that when you don't want people to know who it is yet, but everybody
Well,
knows
that
automatically.
might be true. I see your point, but for more dramatic effect, because because it might be implied that they were not necessarily writing it that way for the reader, but more like for the crooks in the
Yeah,
or
but this is a narration, so it wouldn't be for the crooks. It's automatically for the reader.
yeah, and I think again, I think again, this is more for dramatic effect.
Yeah,
I get
but
what you're saying. Why not just simply say the bat? Because you know,
it becomes less dramatic because you know who it is. You don't need, people know it's the Batman. It becomes would have been more
well,
dramatic
look at the
if they said
drawing
that.
too.
Yeah,
Look at the drawing too. Look at how he's got his cape like full out,
yeah,
like he's a running bat. So
yeah,
the idea may be there. The idea may be there is because of how the picture looks. To most people, it would grant you're right. The readers would know it's Batman already, but looking at it, as it, let's say you didn't read the narration yet. You take it and
yeah.
you
If you didn't
know,
read the
you
narration,
know,
you'd know it's
really
Batman running.
if you were to take out the narration box right there and just rely on the picture itself, probably would look like a weird figure races through the night. And I
Yeah,
think
but at the same time, you would know it's Batman. So it's yeah, he's a bit weird or strange or whatever, but you know it's him. So
yeah, but again, I think the way they wrote it was more for dramatic effect.
yeah.
That's what it
Oh,
came.
I'm not disagreeing with you that it might have been for that, but with the reader knowing who it is, it becomes less dramatic
Um,
and not
maybe,
as dramatic as they would
from
like.
your perspective it does, but that
Yeah,
doesn't necessarily mean that every reader is going to have every reader is going to have their own reaction. And while
yeah,
some of them may have a reaction like yours or similar to yours. Others may have another, others may
Yeah,
see it in another way, So, um, let's
let's see. Timothy says a weird figure races through the night room. It's not Batman. If that is what you're thinking, stop thinking it. Run. Okay, not sure exactly what you mean.
so, anyways, but that's why we have these conversations. That's why we do the commentary too, because we
Yeah,
can critique some of the writing here too. That's
yeah.
part. That's
No,
part of the fun of
normally
it.
I started critiquing the writing, but in a different way. Normally I'm critiquing art too, but
Yeah. Hmm. A light. I'll try that room. Um. Think she's Napoleon, huh? Inside the lighted room. Um. You wanna do the henchman here?
okay. Well, is that first one not the guy who thinks he's Napoleon because it looks like it's coming from the blacked out
Oh yeah.
figure?
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
I can do him if you want. I got no problem. I'm just
Yeah, because I've been doing a lot of it.
okay.
So I want to give you a chance to do some of it too.
It is well that you three have joined forces with me, four great scientists, the Scarlet Horde. We shall rule the world. Tell me, is our army ready? You want me to do these guys too?
Yeah.
2,000 strong, waiting your command. When do we strike? In 2 days, the death ray strikes again. During the panic, our men will loot the banks, and we will have money to build more durables,
Dirigibles.
dirigibles. You, Travis, Bixley, Ryder, will be my lieutenants.
Yeah. Okay. So Rick, do you know what a dirigible is?
A blimp.
Yeah, a blimp. Yeah. So just for those of you, it's pronounced dirigible, and it's a blimp. It's just a fancier word for it.
Yes, all three of us. An organization so pathetic that even Cobra laughs at them.
Oh, did Tim have some things?
Yeah, I think there was four of them there, Tim. Four. Plus the guy. Plus the Napoleon guy.
And according to Tim here, an organization so pathetic that even Cobra laughs at him. Okay.
Cobra laughs at all the organizations, even the Joes.
Well,
And the Joes defeat them readily. And I, Karl Kruger, will be dictator of the world.
the three men leave the house of Dr. Kruger.
Master of the world. Another Napoleon. And no one can stop me.
Perhaps I can stop you.
The Batman!
The Batman hurls his batarang at Kruger. With this, which stops in midair.
Fool! Do you not think I'd leave myself no protection from my enemies? There's a sheet of thick glass between us.
Suddenly, the painting of Napoleon um, moves aside. Okay. Oh. You see what's happening there, Rick?
Yeah.
And guy, I guess, is shooting him in the arm or something like that. I guess he is securely bound.
Midler, you must die in 5 minutes. An incendiary bomb will go off, setting the whole house on the fire. When your child party is found, they will think me dead, leaving me to do as I please. Ah!
As Kruger leaves, the Batman rolls over and draws forth a steel blade from his boot, and he is soon free. Got to get out before the bomb goes off. As he reaches the ground, a terrific blast blows up the house. The Batman. Boom! The Batman miraculously escapes death. Whew. That was close. Now home to rest and think. The following night, the home of Ryder, one of Kruger's lieutenants.
What is it? Who? The Batman!
Yes, and very much alive. Tell that to Kruger. I shall be back for you later. Good night, and pleasant dreams.
He's gone, but he said he'd be back for me. I've got to get away from here.
Ryder dresses and speeds away in his car. The Batman trails him from above in his bat plane.
Bat plane!
To the secret hangar of the dirigible. It worked. He's led me straight to the hideout of Kruger. Dumb criminal, isn't he? He didn't stop to think that the Batman might follow him. Criminals are not only a superstitious and cowardly lot, but they seem to be a stupid lot too, don't they?
Yeah. Well, he gets them scared so they don't think.
That's a good point. So intimidating that their brain seems to freeze up. The Batman breaks a glass vial. A thick black smoke pours forth. This will prevent the guards from seeing the plane, which soon blankets the whole plane. Yeah, that's classic in cartoons as well, isn't it? You know, you have this
cloud cover.
Yeah, Joe had an episode where they did that too.
Cloud screen instead of smoke screen.
Yeah,
and like again, the guy wasn't watching, but like he wouldn't have noticed this bat-shaped plane following him.
Mm-hmm. Well, he probably wasn't paying attention because he was so scared, as you point out. So, like a great black cloud, the bat plane floats over the hangar.
I think it's more a bat copter than a bat plane at this point.
Well, yeah, it's alternately called bat plane, bat gyro. You know, I think gyros were kind of like helicopter like planes, basically. Gyro, auto gyros, they sometimes would call it, was one of those things that was had a helicopter and airplane kind of combined into one. It would seem.
Yeah.
So, anyways, so now you get to do the two guys in the white hoods right there.
What? A black cloud? Yeah, looks like green.
The Batman fixes his automatic controls and lowers himself onto the hangar. A boom inside the hangar. I guess a boom inside.
What are instructions, Mr. Bixley? These small death ray machines will be mounted on trucks. If there is any resistance by the people, turn the machine on them.
Suddenly, gas fills the air.
I'm choking! No!
That gas vial did the trick. He enters the room, and look, there's looks like Batman's pointing a gun right there, doesn't it?
Yeah, but that's probably just his finger. He's like, pull my finger.
Well, well, here goes. I hope I don't get blast as a machine goes off and blows up the others.
Boom!
Those ray machines are destroyed now for the dirigible.
How durable is it?
The Batman picks up an axe. Look at how long that handle is on that axe.
Yeah,
That's
he's really axing for it now.
You're the pun master, the punisher, Rick.
Yeah.
Suddenly, a secret door opens. Kruger points his gun, fires.
You're too late, my friend. Too late.
The Batman is hit.
He'd never get caught unaware like that nowadays. He has finished another conquest for Napoleon.
Oh, and look at that! They actually look at the drawing down there.
Yes,
They actually are look at the bottom of that panel right there, that big red spot.
Yes,
look like
blood.
They're depicting bleeding in a comic.
I will destroy his body with my death ray machine. Guard, watch his body. I'm going to get the one that is left.
Kruger soon returns.
It is ironical that his body shall be disposed of with the very machine he just tried to destroy.
The death ray strikes the Batman. There is a blast, and where once had been the body of the Batman, a heap of ashes.
My fusion of ozone gas and the gamma ray has last eliminated the one man who stood in my path. I love that. Ozone and gamma rays. Jeez, I wonder where Stan Ray got the gamma.
But Rick, did it?
Yeah, of course it didn't.
Yeah, we know that, but you know. Let's see what happens here. Sometime later, a figure climbs the rope to the bat plane. It is Bruce Wayne, the Batman. Later, the Wayne Mansion. It was a good thing my bulletproof vest stopped those bullets. Just a few flesh wounds. Lost some blood, though. So he admits that he had a bulletproof vest on at that point, huh?
Yeah, well, he wouldn't have had anything else at that point.
Yeah. When I overpowered that guard, and changed into his clothing, my rescue was complete.
And man, he must have been quick to overpower the guard and change all in what, probably less than 5 minutes.
Remember, Rick, he trained his body to peak athletic performance. I mean, not only was he probably strong, he probably developed some quickness there too.
Yeah, but he's got to strip himself. He's got to strip the other guy. He's got to put the clothes on the bat costume on the other guy, and then he's got to get dressed himself. All in probably less than, we'll say, 5 minutes at most.
Which probably may, again, anybody who's trained enough could probably pull it off. I mean, there's probably not a whole lot of people who could pull it off because most people don't. Well, you have to remember he trained both.
I get he trained.
to where he's basically considered the strongest human hero of all time. You know.
Yeah. Well, my point is, he would have had to have been as fast as the Flash. Well, maybe not quite as fast as the Flash to do that,
He
because that's
obviously would have had to been faster than a lot of normal humans. Now
yeah,
remember, the Flash hasn't debuted yet. The Flash,
yeah. Well, I'm just using it as a
yeah, I get what you're saying. So, anyways, um, through the night he works in his secret laboratory, mixing, probing. A mysterious chemical is sprayed over the bat plane. Wonder what that chemical is. The next day,
look, the dirigible
it's back!
will all be killed.
And suddenly, the bat plane arrives. Those ruthless murderers taking innocent lives. The Batman plunges his ship for the dirigible, whose death rays strike the plane. But it is unscathed. The chemical spray has countered the effects of the death ray. A catapult plane is released from the airship. Suddenly, the Batman dies.
He's heading straight for the dirigible.
He uh, he's doing a dive. He's doing it. He's doing it deliberately. He'll crash. A terrific blast, and the dirigible and Batplane are blown to smithereens. Crash!
Boom!
But the Batman is safe in a parachute. I just jumped in time. That was a narrow escape. In the catapult plane, Kruger.
The Batman. The Batman. At least he's dead now. But no. Can it be the figure in the parachute? I must see if it is he. The Batman!
As the plane goes past, the Batman flings his silken cord, which catches upon a wheel. He unbuckles his chute and hangs in space. He gains the wing where yeah.
This time, I'll make you die for sure. Or make sure you die. Sorry.
Kruger's shot goes wild. The Batman holds his breath and flings a gas pellet.
I'm joking!
As Kruger slumps unconscious, the plane plunges downward toward the bay. The Batman dives as the plane hits the water, taking Kruger with it. So, Rick, what do you think they mean by taking Kruger with it? What do you think happened to Kruger?
Well, because he's unconscious and he's underwater, he's probably going to die unless, Batman, of course, rescues you. So Batman has let somebody die.
Yeah.
And as really, frankly, he might as well have just pulled a gun because he's as responsible for his death as.
Yeah. A few hours later, the home of Bruce Wayne. And the body of Kruger was recovered from the water, but that of the Batman has not yet been found. latest dispatches report the capture of the entire Scarlet Army. The end. The
So,
Batman appears only in Detective Comics. Don't
so
miss. Oh, go ahead, Rick.
no, go ahead.
Don't miss an issue of this thrilling new character in his amazing adventures.
I was just gonna say, so we know that Kruger actually died. Batman let him die. Batman could have probably easily rescued him, but he just, didn't.
Surely, some there's some interesting little tidbits here. By Jerry Siegel and Mark Bailey.
Cool. One of the creators of Superman. Well,
Yeah.
you're going
Well,
through this.
originally this feature had both creators of Superman on it. Prior to Superman, Jerry Siegel and Joe Shuster, they were a pretty prolific pair. You know, I
Ah,
you know because they got this one, they had Federal Man, they had Slam Bradley, they had a number of you know characters they basically created. You
yeah.
know, Buck Marshall right here, and Larry Steele, Private Detective.
Yeah. Well,
Uh,
you going through this and setting up the next story. I'm just gonna go grab a sip of something to drink.
all right, I just want to show everybody, some of these other stories.
Yeah, no
Um,
problem.
Speed Saunders, Ace Investigator, and the Northwoods Mystery by Fred Guarnier. We're just again just Cosmo, the Phantom of Disguise, illustrated by Sven Elvin. Bruce Nelson. Crime Never Pays. Detective Test, Detective Stamp Club. Slam Bradley by Jerry Siegel and Mark Bailey. Another. Now, of course, Mark Bailey had taken over the art from Joe Shuster. I don't know. Schuster decided to retire. There was some kind of falling out between the two. But there's Shorty. Anyways, going back so we can get ready to move on to the next story. Action Comics, Volume 1, Number 19. Let's see. Zatara.
And, and I am back.
I hear you. Hmm. All right, so anyways, back up here.
They make you go down a bit, eh?
Yeah, well, I mean, like Action Comics and Detective Comics had quite a few issues there.
Yeah. Timothy, the last thing he said a few minutes ago was, "I find morbid things funny." Ha ha.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I got to step away from the computer for a moment, Rick. So if you want to
Yeah,
go ahead and maybe plug your book or whatever, I'll be right back.
yeah. Okay, so he's away, so the mice shall play. The cat's away, so the mice will play. Although I don't know what we'll play because not much to. I don't have much control. Ah, ha, ha. If you want to watch a good video, here I think I have. No, that's my thing. Let me. Although check this video later. So this doesn't last long. It's just an unboxing from Metal that I'm about to share the link to that people can check out if they want at some later point. It's under 2 minutes. So there we go. Um, oh, I know what Metal didn't get. He didn't get the stickers. Yeah, Metal, if you're listening, I know what you didn't get in the package that I probably didn't give to you. Probably didn't give you stickers, a Canadian Shield sticker and a Snowdrift sticker. So maybe everybody got the cards and maybe it was the stickers not everybody got. Because I know Eric Ninatowski got his package as well, I guess today, and I saw the stickers in his picture, so um, I guess that's good as well. So what should I say? Who's all here? Is Timothy and Metal still here? Hopefully, we have some other people in the back or in just lingering while listening while we read.
All right. So I'm back. Anyways, so there's I guess that's a link to your YouTube channel right there, Rick.
No, that is actually a link to the video that a metal did for unboxing
Oh, okay.
of or unpackaging.
Let's see. All right. So, anyways, let's get back to the readings here. So, we're coming up on an hour already. So, December 1939, number 19. There's Superman on the little label right there,
Yeah,
and look at the color scheme they have for his uniform too.
yeah.
Now, in this case, we're just going to just read it because we're going to read the Zatara story this time.
Okay, so we're just gonna speed past him,
Yeah.
run past him
Yeah. Now
faster than a
that
speeding
bald
bullet.
guy, you know who that bald guy is right there?
Lex Luthor.
Wrong. That's the Ultra
Oh,
Humanite.
uh,
That's the Ultra Humanite right there.
uh,
Lex Luthor doesn't even make the Golden Age Lex Luthor, aka Alexi Luthor, doesn't even make his debut until until like 3 issues later in 22.
uh,
But actually,
uh,
technically, his first full appearance is in 23. Um, but he's a bit different in terms of his look than what you probably are used to seeing, and we'll talk about that when we get to that point, of course. Um,
Yeah.
there's Ted Thompson, zombies.
Zombie stories even back then.
Well, you had a few interesting things going on. And then I guess this is like a comet across the comic sky. Watch for it on sale about November 10th. Flash Comics. So we'll be looking at that. The Hawkman, the Flash, the Whip.
So, is that going to be the first appearance of the Flash?
Right. Now in Flash
So
Comics.
that's about a month later.
Yeah.
If this is
So
October.
basically in about another 11 weeks here, we'll probably be looking at that as part of our coverage. So in November.
Yeah, and you'll probably go over a little bit of history of the Flash or whatever too.
Right. All right. So Zatara, the Master Magician, and the Gorilla King by Fred Guarnier. As Zatara slumbers in a New York hotel room. What? A gorilla? Roar! In the split second after the gorilla's roar, Eggnog, Otney, A, L, Till, Eek, Yeek, Gnome.
In other words, change into a little monkey.
That's better. As a gorilla, you are quite a menace. But as a little monkey, you're safe enough. I think we shall need a cage for you. Egak! Repa!
In other words, cage appear. And I think that monkey can be maybe not. I think that monkey can be just as dangerous, just in a different way.
Yeah. Me hear something, master. You all right? Yes, Tong. I awoke in time, or this monkey or gorilla might have done me in. Was that a yell I heard? Hold on a sec before I. Who are you? And I'll let you do the guy right there.
I am Ivan Meldov, a Russian American scientist. I thought heard a gorilla roar, and it frightened me.
By a wave of his hand, Zatara enables Meldov to see the gorilla.
He was right. The gorilla is loose. The gorilla king is loose. Again, may the Lord help me.
You mentioned a gorilla king. Who is that?
Years ago, I was in Mexico, searching for the lost Aztec city. Stumbled into a crevice in the rocks.
And I think in that particular case, you can still continue on there because that narration box I think is him retelling the story, and then
a man found me and brought me to his home. Now this is I don't think him because I think he's a guy in the blue shorts.
Yeah. Okay.
Unless you want me to do this guy, it doesn't matter.
No, I guess I can do him. Handers is my name. I too am a scientist, a brain specialist. I have been transferring the brains of some of my native peons into my gorillas. Now, okay, now let me point this out too, because we read another story. Like this is part of the reason why I chose this story. This was actually a common theme back here. Okay, the whole idea of transplanting brains from humans to gorillas. I mean, it wasn't just that, but also brains from one human. You know how we were talking about the ultra humanite earlier.
Yeah,
He's another one who got into that too, where he was transplanting his brain to other people. In this case, so there's another. I think this is a third mad scientist at this point who had basically developed a, a technique for transplanting a human's brain into a gorilla.
or into somebody else.
Right. So there's a Ted Thompson story about it as well. So, anyways,
He took me into his cage room and showed me their eyes are human.
um, of course, my dear sir, I give the human brain a great body, and the gorilla is my slave. Oh boy.
I thought him a madman, and that night as I slept, I awoke gasping, grasping my revolver, and fired, fearing the rage and fury of Handers. I planted my few sticks of dynamite. This will seal Sanders with his guerrillas forever in the tiny valley. The world will forever be safe. You can see that this man is a menace with his guerrillas. There's nothing he can't do. He's training them to shoot guns. When the gorilla that gorilla roared, I thought it was after me.
Master, hotel must be on fire. We're blocked in if the corridor is on fire. Three of Hander's gorillas in fire uniforms get to the window.
If he
Ru- ru-
transplanted
huh?
if he transplanted human brains in the gorillas, wouldn't that mean those people wouldn't have to be trained? They'd be able to train to do stuff like this already? Well, maybe they're not trained, but you know what I mean.
Well,
They're
yeah,
human. They'd have
just because he transferred a human brain into a gorilla doesn't necessarily mean that the brain is liable to, still retain the memories of the previous body.
yeah, well, I was just thinking that's where that stuff is supposed
Yeah, I
to
mean, I get what you're
reside.
saying. You would think that that even though the brain is transferred into the body of a gorilla, it would retain a lot of its previous knowledge. That may not necessarily be the case. The brain
Yeah.
may still maintain the ability to learn things, but it may not, in essence, retain the information that it had already um, garnered. And maybe that process of now adjusting to being in a new body, that kind of thing.
Yeah, who
Um,
knows?
Rolf E- Imoseb Regnol.
Floor become longer.
The floor seems to lengthen. Master, we high up. The three swing safely above the gorillas. Salarog, Loth, Ot, Roy, Hate, Hatade.
Gorillas, gorillas, your to fall death.
or fall to your death.
Yeah, gorillas fall to your death.
Who fall hundreds of feet through the air. Like they just don't care. Right?
Yeah,
uh,
that was a miracle, man. You are the person to beat Anders at his own game. Will you help me clean the world of him?
clean the world of him. Interesting way of saying that.
Yeah,
First, I must make inquiries about him. About him. Come to see me tomorrow night. Hmm. So now this is. I think you read a. I think you read a Zatara story with me once before.
yeah,
Rick, where you were very. It was the one where where he went to another dimension and basically with just made decisions without doing any research or anything like that. Here he's actually doing research.
yeah. Or it seems like it anyway, so he's going to.
Early the next day, hmm, if Buck Travis is only here, I may be able to find some information about this Handers Explorers Club. Um, so you want to do Travis there, guy on the left?
Okay. Anders? Gorillas? Yes, I've heard of him. He was a renowned brain man before he disappeared. I didn't know he was in Mexico, but it could be the same one.
Thanks, Buck. I'll go over to the police commissioner and see if he has any news on him, and I'll let you do the commissioner there as well.
Handus? Don't know him, but there have been rumors from Texas about gorillas who rob trains and banks.
There have, then I think it's about time I started to help Meldorf. There is truth to what he says. After all arrangements have been made, Meldorf is late. The plane takes off in 20 minutes. I must try to reach him. Um, Establishing psychic contact with the old scientist, my mind tells me he must be in this old house. Now to find him.
And hello, Jason. Jason asks, "What's your favorite time you saw a walrus?" Think about the only time I ever saw a walrus is at a place called Marineland. So guess when I was at Marineland,
Yeah.
unless you
Um,
count TV as well. But
yeah. All right. Downstairs in the cellar, he's been made a prisoner by one of Hander's agents. Yeah, he's all tied up with nowhere to go. Um, you have strength of 10 gorillas, Meldoff. Snap snap your bonds.
I feel great strength, muscle flooding into my muscles.
Hurry, Meldoff. Your speed is as the speed of the deer. Run! I wish I had him on my track team. I'll bet he's a world champion. Hurry!
I but I had the most marvelous experience. I can't wait to tell you.
Yeah, because of course that's because Zatara endowed him with that experience.
Yeah.
Hmm.
think the first one is one of is Zatara.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to figure out. Because all right, we must plan our campaign of attack. We must destroy Handers and all his guerrillas. Our plane stops at um, Del Gerardo. From there, we travel by horse into the desert.
Right. I have all the I have all the sidearms and dynamite.
At that moment, in Del Huerta,
Gorillas? I'm dreaming.
I'm going to faint.
I've never seen that before. Did you notice their eyes? They seemed human.
High above the desert road, um,
I'm
oh
not sure who this
yeah,
is.
I think it's Zatara. If those aren't gorillas riding those horses, I've never seen one. See their short bandy legs and broad shoulders. Oh, I saw the black cat. I thought that was Zatara, but it wasn't.
Yeah, it is. I think it is.
Oh, okay. I see what the. Okay, yeah. All right. So I was. All right. I was thinking I was speaking the guy in the green jacket there, but anyways, kind of tough to figure out where the tails are to these dialogue box,
Yeah.
um, word bubbles, whatever you want to call them. But you've got to stop your plane while I investigate those riders.
Say, what is this? Say, what is this? How, how, how
How
can I
can
do?
how how can I?
How can I do that? Be yourself.
Um, in that case, attack shall pud and now Priya Repa Rof M.
Duplicate airplane appear for me. This is impossible. There can be no second plane up here.
As far as you're concerned, there is one. Get in. We must follow these riders to their secret valley. Look, they turn in there.
But that but that isn't the valley.
They went in. They're behind that ledge. Oh, I think that's you because
Yeah.
he would.
They went in behind there, that ledge of rock. We must follow. Come on.
Continue. I think that's still you.
There's a secret entrance there. Tong, right under the waterfall.
Brr, just like shower bath. I guess Kong doesn't care for shower baths. I guess.
Yeah, or at least cold water.
Yeah. They use a rope ladder, no doubt, which then throw down when they start on their robberies.
How can we? What can we follow?
Master, find a way. He make me big. Okay. Lift me, Tong, and set me on the ledge. Look at how big Tong got there.
Yeah.
Okay,
He's
now
awesome. He's a stretching guy.
we talk about some of the dimensional issues when it comes to like CGI. When it comes to like CG animation stuff. Look at this right here. Look at his hand right there.
Yeah.
His body seems a little warped there, but now it's hand drawn. That wasn't like, huh. Whoever found this must have stumbled on it quite by accident. It's a perfect getaway. Master, look ahead. A fortune.
Bless my soul.
Phew. This Handers must have been robbing trains and banks for a long time to amass such a fortune. He has been robbing in Mexico too to get these jewels. Oh, take a look at take a look at the take a look at the guy they've been accompanying there. Look at his face
Yeah.
there.
He looks suddenly greedy.
Mm-hmm. Boy, me rich. Suddenly, Tong cries out, "Master, master, that man!" How, how did you get inside of wall, man? You want to do Herbert Handers right there?
Well, you did him earlier, if you remember.
Oh, okay. Oh, you
When they
fools! You fools! Trying to match wits with Herbert Handers, you shall die horribly. A a motive a moving picture with sound effects. The scientist discovers the cause of the picture.
look the projector, I'll destroy it. There, that finishes it.
We have to find a way out of here now. The guerrilla riders managed to get away, so there must be some sort of an opening in the cliffs. The guerrillas must have known a secret passage through these rocks that we can't locate. I must take um, I must take drastic steps. Let's see. Te telem es et inach slaw.
He mount these stone walls.
Hmm. The magician throws currents of great heat at the wall, and a path is open. Uh, okay. Well, we seem to have picked a tough spot to commence our assault on marauders, an unclimbable cliff. The trio find themselves stranded. Look, can you see that high walled city down there?
Nope. I'm joking.
Yeah.
It's Gorilla City.
Yeah. The city of gorillas. Tell Sue, um, Eva, uh, set a, set a, set a carap with these with these parachutes, we'll have to jump to safety. So he basically materialized parachutes.
Yeah. So it was let us have parachutes.
Me scared at first, master. Me like this now.
You are amazing man, Zatara.
You see this? You see this umbrella? When I hold it over my head, it will make me invisible.
Uh, okay, sorry, but don't but didn't you didn't have that umbrella before?
Zatara demonstrates his new umbrella.
Why, he's gone.
And look, it's almost like I guess it's some kind of at least the effect there, the art effect there looks like some kind of like shower curtain or something like that. You see that, Rick?
Yeah.
It's some kind of like shower curtain, one of those old style like circular showers, and walks through the streets of the weird city. I wonder what is up ahead. I must investigate. Katara sees a human chain gang. Poor devils, slaves to their gorilla masters. I must see where they are taken.
Sounds like Planet of the Apes to me.
I'll speak to them and see if they desire revenge. The magician reveals himself. Do you want revenge? Do you want to kill these gorilla slave owners? Look at this now. Look! they were even talking about killing back in these days.
Yeah.
They were more blatant about it.
Yeah. Okay, but wasn't the mind of the gorillas transferred into these humans? Should not they be acting like gorillas?
What was that, Rick?
I said, were not the minds of the gorillas transferred into these humans?
Well, yeah, but
So
well,
how are they knowing how to speak and all
again,
that?
again, maybe that's the idea. The just like what I can tell you, Rick, is that even though they played with this idea of transferring
Yeah.
gorilla and human brains back and forth and stuff, they didn't really have a whole because some of the stuff I've seen on it, they didn't really have like they didn't
Well, we
have per
know
se like it like
they
yeah
didn't keep consistent because we know the ultra humanite, as you said, transferred brains, his brain, and his memories and all that went with him when he transferred his brain. So
yeah so but anyways you want to do these two guys?
we do. I say we do. And how lead us, Mister?
You will require fighting weapons. um Mirar Mira uh Sevles Ruyoi Hitu um should Rose Dana Delis.
I know it's armed something with
Arm
arms
yourselves
with
with
swords and shields.
right. An army to meet the foe.
Oh boy, this stuff is. Oh boy, this is the stuff. Let's go get at those gorillas.
Let the gate dissolve. The gate becomes a puddle.
Comes a
And look,
pool.
the shield's got a Z on it. You see that?
Yeah. Z for Zatara.
Right. Not to be confused with Zoro. uh, the prisoners fall upon their surprise guerrilla masters. Into every into every nook and cranny, the beasts um, are rolled out. Um, Natara sees the man he's been looking for. Hander, stop! The mad scientist flees into the tall white tower. You'll never get me, Zatara. I'll blow up my city first. You have ruined my life's work, Zatara. I spent years to make this city. Those prisoners are killing my gorillas. You must die. My tiger will take care of that little detail. Look at your tiger, Handers. My ferocious Bengal tiger. A kitten?
It's a tabby. Tabby cat.
A white kitten at that. A white Bengal kitten at that. This switch control this switch controls an electric current which will dominate the entire which will dynamite the entire city. We shall perish together. Zatara reverses the flow of electricity. I I can't move the switch. I'm being electrocuted. And you see the electrocution
Yeah.
effect there in the
Yeah.
drawing. You are safer out of the way. My spell shall pass from you in an hour. At that moment, you will pull the lever and blow up the city. So he's basically giving him and the slaves and all that enough time to get out of there.
Yeah.
He has
At a
them
fair
blow.
distance away.
Yeah. Zatara leads the prisoners to safety. It is nearly an hour since I left Handers. Watch. There it is. And then you have one more.
Uh, you are the only man who could have done that, Zatara. The world will forever be in your gratitude.
The end.
Okay, well, you're getting the next story ready. I'm going to go grab another drink.
Uh, Let me see what time it is because that one.
It's 33 after 10 or 8, I
All
guess,
right,
in
so
your.
I guess we can try to get the last story because the Sandman story will only be like 10 pages as opposed to 12, so we might be able to get that in and then finish up. So we won't get to the hot hair again or the those stories, but all right. So, anyways, getting ready to move on to the next story here. Go over now to volume one, um, Adventure Comic Volume One, number 44. Read the Sandman story, then that'll be it for tonight. All right, so let's see now. Uh, number 44.
And I'm back.
All right, so yeah, with an hour 30, I think we'll get this last story in, then we'll start to wrap up because you know,
Yeah.
again, I was gonna try the Hop Harrigan and Squibbly stories if we did, in fact, were able to get to those, but um, it's already an hour 33, so one more story should. Anyways, all right, so another thrilling episode of The Sandman in this issue.
Sandy, the Sandman.
So, anyways, The Sandman by Larry Dean. Oh, this one's going to be a little. Let's see. The Sandman, an unknown and mysterious force. Um, um,
A mysterious figure
yeah.
warring on criminals
Oh,
and
yeah, yeah.
almost.
Warring on criminals, and almost at times, it seems, with the police um, themselves, has made him um, a man to be feared by all the
Underworld.
underworld. The Sandman meets the face. That was a little harder to read. Um, in the home of Wesley Dodds, millionaire playboy. Notice how a lot of these early heroes were millionaire playboys.
Yeah.
You did have kind of like, well, you had Wesley Dodds, you had Bruce Wayne, and then you had Tex Thompson, who was kind of a playboy adventurer, just didn't in his early adventures didn't take on a costume as much. Tex Thompson, I'm of course talking about. On the balcony outside the room, a creaking of slowly opened doors warns Dodds. You want to do the criminal there?
What's up, man?
Or no?
Up with him, mister?
Of course. But don't I know you from somewhere? Surely, you're Billy Winslow. Don't you remember West Dodds back in Hilton? We used to swim and play together.
Wes, my God, to think.
So you went bad and Sue, your sister, killed herself when this man you mentioned, the face, got hold of her. Huh? She didn't squeal on you when you went up the river for 5 years, and now
I'm telling you, Wes, I'm going straight as soon as I get the face. He's inhuman. Nobody has ever seen him. He- he's got a lot of disguises. Why?
beg pardon, sir. A police officer to see you, sir. You may go, Feathers.
That man didn't. That man. Didn't I see him enter your window, sir?
I've told you before, your pranks will get you into trouble, Billy. It's all right, officer.
Huh? I'm afraid not, Wes. By Dobbs, you'll see. My gun! Cut! It's the face, West!
Death comes to
Winslow.
Billy Winslow. You're the face, Rick.
Yeah. I'm the face. You fools to think such as you could trap him.
The face, gone, and I'm as helpless as a kitten. Um, and they
Well, it's but Wesley Dobbs is still conscious
oh,
in the other
shot by
picture.
shot by a burglar. That's rich. Wait until I see the commissioner about this. Only another week, and they to Wesley Dodds comes long hours of struggle against against
The bullet.
bullet which felled him. I tell you, it was a policeman who shot me. Can't you understand that?
I checked our entire force, sir. Mr. Dobbs, none of my men could have possibly done it.
No, no, of course not. But he had on a uniform and he got it somewhere. I want to find out where.
There's our regular uniform marker. See him?
Hmm. If Wesley Dodge takes an interest in the face, it will be too bad for him.
Uh,
The Sandman is ready at last to accept the Face's challenge. Now to visit the uniform maker. That night in Dodd's library, my little Jimmy will be handy here. A faint slip and the lock opens. Not in the regular ledger. Ah, that might be the face again.
who's there?
Self preservation, old fella. Sorry. And you notice what he's shooting there? He's shooting gas.
Yeah, his sand gun gas.
This will keep the blame. This will keep the blame for this in the right place. I think this little book will rest easier in my possession. The owner of the store won't dare report this theft to the police. It would convince them he had been double dealing um, them. Yet, I think it would be safer for Wesley Dodds to appear somewhere. In half an hour, in the darkness of the deserted streets, Dodds reappears. Less than an hour later, you want to do the Dodds friend there?
Wes Dobbs, drunk, must have been hitting it up for hours. Wait till he sees my column tomorrow.
Let's see. Dodds is pleased with the column. Um,
The next day.
The next day, good old Rennie McAvoy. The commissioner will never suspect. Now he'll think I'm drowning my nerves. The alibi. Oh. Gus Olson, costume police uniform. I think the Sandman will visit his address tonight. Toward midnight, not a nice neighborhood. The lower east side, but Olson's house is beyond the fence. Is beyond the fence. Jimmy in the lock again, and an entrance now for the second floor. Right. Notice how he's just casually talking about this stuff.
Yeah. Exposition through the thing, just telling it, saying what he's doing, to himself.
Empty. Good. Closet ought to reveal something. A note. Let's see what it says. Meet the face at the warehouse at 1:30. Take uniforms. Face. Second floor on the right. He left a note. I hope they don't stay long. This is no cinch. Oh, those are the bad guys right there.
Nah, don't turn on the lights. Nobody'll know we've been here.
The Sandman races for his car. I'll follow them to the warehouse. Won't be too hard. And then I'll be face to face with the face. Face to face with the face. Hey, Rick.
Yeah, it's time for the face the music. The music of the face of the music, the face of crime. I don't know what he's the face of, but he's got one heck of a face.
Yeah. Lest the pursuer think he follows, the Sandman passes their car. And having averted suspicion, he trails his quarry from in front. Wow, that's kind of interesting. How do you trail somebody from in front? That's quite a interesting.
A lot of rear view mirror activity.
I guess you'd have to, right?
If they turn on their turn signal, you then turn on your turn signal.
Mm-hmm. The Rogan's warehouse. Now to get around the corner. They left a watch by the car. I'll have to get rid of him. Too late, buddy. The face at last.
Frowsner. When Billy Winslow was killed, he almost discovered my identity. You know me. There's only as the face. I intend to stay that way. Yet this Winslow had some interest in an Oklahoma oil well. I framed him to get him out of the way. The oil well is hot. Winslow and his sister were worth millions. I haven't been successful in finding any heirs. So go to Oklahoma and pretend to be a cousin and get set up. And we'll find all the instructions in this envelope. When the probate court has given the letters of administration, have struck turn over per instructions.
Gosh, you're clever, Face. A little too clever, Face.
Get him, Frausner! Frauser?
I'll get you later, Face. He's still running toward the railroad tracks, of course. He's heading for Oklahoma to pose as an heir himself. I want to read those instructions. Take the 216 from Central Station. He'll expect me to read these. Therefore, he'll change the directions. The airport, he could reach that by riding a car to the mail depot at the airport. The chase is on. I was right. Okay. I was right. The Face is coming. Idea. I think I can catch him at the gar, and if I do, like an immense bullet, the Sandman's oar roars past, roars through the night. He's coming. No mercy to the Face. The collision on the railroad trestle. Crash! Toward a cold death hurdles the Face. And so ends the threat of the Face. Oh well, it was fun while it lasted. He just killed a guy and just said it was fun. Okay.
These Golden Age heroes were brutal.
Yeah. The Sandman at the World's Fair. Read this thrilling episode in New York World's Fair's comics. That's going back to his thing. It's going back to his very first appearance. But anyways, so let's see, what time are we at now?
53.
Yeah, so I think it's a good time to start. So, did you like the stories we read tonight, Rick?
Yeah, I did. They were good.
Yeah. So
anyway, not too many plot holes.
And we've already discussed when you'll next be here. That'll be May 19th, right?
Yeah.
All right. So with that, let me just 1933, 2003, and all right. So without any further ado, we're gonna go right into this day in each history, as we're of course coming up on 2 hours here. I hope everybody enjoyed the show thus far. We're gonna start to wrap up here, and Rick, of course, will be back with me as my co-host on May 19th. So we already discussed that earlier. So the first thing I'd like to do is I'd like to wish a happy 90th birthday to Shawnee Wells. Shawnee is a British actress and singer who, of course, provided the voice of Lady Mouse in The Great Mouse Detective and was a narrator for The Pebble and the Penguin. So happy 90th birthday to British actress and singer Shawnee Wells.
Yeah, happy birthday to you, Dame. Happy birthday.
All right. As we shall now moving forward in time a bit to about 20 years ago, to 2003. On this date in 2003, the WWE held its Monday Night Raw event from the Richmond Coliseum in Richmond, Virginia. In the main event, Booker T team with a Hurricane. Stand back! It's a Hurricane! Da, 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 da. Hurricane is portrayed by Shane Helms, Gregory Helms, who, of course, was at a time when they were using him kind of as a superhero character, And then, of course, they teamed him up with the guy who was, I think, known at one point as Rosie, as the superhero in training. And they did make a now. Superhero in training that ends up being an acronym? Can you figure, Rick? Can you figure out what that acronym is?
Super. Well, it depends what the S. We'll say S. The superhero. S.
In training.
In training.
Superhero in training.
Sit. Or do you count the H? I guess you count the H.
Yeah. Anyway, so Booker T and the Hurricane defeated Ric Flair and Triple H that in a tag match that if Booker T and Booker teams won, he would get a title shot the following week. The following week. Also, you saw Kane and RVD retain the World Tag Team titles over Chief Morley and Lance Storm. Jazz and Victoria, with Stevie Richards in their corner, would defeat Ivory and Trish Stratus. And then you saw Chris Jericho open up the night by defeating Test. So that happened 20 years ago today. And as soon as I can. And also, one last piece of niche history before we go. We just go back 2 years ago today. On this date, 2 years ago today in 2021, the 5th issue of Homesick Pilots from Image went on sale on this date back 2 years ago today in 2021. So the 5th, this, from what I understand, this book ran for like 36 issues, I believe. But the 5th issue of Homesick Pilots from Image Comics went on sale on this date for $3.99, 28 pages. So there we go. So, Rick, if you can stick around for a couple of minutes for post show.
Yeah.
And I see you did, and I'll kind of highlight that for you for while we finish up here. All right, everybody. Well, I thank everybody for being here. I hope you all enjoyed the show tonight. I appreciate all the likes and the shares, and of course, Rick. Hopefully, you'll be joining me also on Sunday for the weekend edition, as we will be, as we'll be getting together and talking about a bunch of talking all niche and all that. So with that, I thank everybody for being here, and I will see you all on Sunday. Bye.
Later, everyone.